Welcome to the Legendarium Green Team. I'm your host, Kyptan, and with me today are Ashaman,
Hi, everybody.
Stormrunner,
Hey, how's it going?
and Hurinfan.
Cousins did nothing wrong.
Today, Hector Fan. Today, we're going to be discussing chapters 11 through 17 of Perhaps the Stars, the fourth and final book of the Terra Ignota series by Dr. Ada Palmer. Let's start real quick with general impressions and then jump into spoiler territory. This section has 3 of my favorite chapters of the entire book. I'd like to hear how everyone else reacted to it.
Yeah, it was really good. I think that this is my favorite section so far of Terra Ignota. And if the series continues in this vein, I'll be very pleased. It just has all of what I like the most. It has one pretty self-indulgent chapter, which I is one of his favorites. It wasn't one of my favorites.
We'll get to that very quickly.
I think it could have been for me summarized in like 2 sentences, and I think I would have gotten about the same experience.
Wow.
But overall, I think this is the most interesting the series has been so far.
Okay.
Yeah, it was good. There's a lot of stuff happens. It's fun to finally feel like we're getting payoffs. Things are moving. Yeah, so far I don't know if it's like my favorite necessarily section so far yet, but it's close. I am appreciating how Dr. Palmer is playing with narrative style in different ways.
For sure. Hurin, you said that you'd forgotten most of this book and are now only remembering it on the reread. How do you like this section?
Yeah, I agree with Ash. It's my favorite so far. And I'd say it actually has 2 of my favorite chapters in the entire series so far.
Awesome.
Maybe doesn't have enough cousins doing awesome things. I mean, they did the one thing that was pretty great, but other than that.
Okay.
Cousins are definitely being cousins, you know? I think they're being who they always are, right?
Yeah, I'm saying they could be better.
Okay.
I mean, I will say, let's jump into spoiler territory here. Because there's really no way to talk about this book without doing that, other than maybe complimenting her use of meter and narrative variety here.
Yeah, it must have. This book feels like it took a long time to write.
Yes, this book definitely feels like it took time to write.
I got that feeling too. A lot of effort.
It's very dense.
The intertextuality, well, always been present, has been turned up to 11, I think.
Yes.
Maybe it's just gotten a lot less subtle.
Oh, you thought that, but
it hasn't been settled much at all through the whole series. But I think at this point she's like holding a pillow over your head.
I've really appreciated the increase in dates.
I don't pay attention to dates.
Yeah, I don't pay attention to dates.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, my eyes kind of glaze over.
I was trained to ignore them by Mlazen, so.
Just like a lot of the descriptions when we get these 2-page long paragraphs of well, I shouldn't even say description. I should say Mycroft soliloquies.
Yeah, now Mycroft needs to just kind of wax poetic to himself a little bit.
I don't have the storage or capacity or patience to pay attention to dates, because whenever I see dates, especially in the U-Beast chapter, I think, oh, this is really important, but I just don't care.
It seemed like a spreadsheet to keep track of things.
It's impressive.
Okay. We'll get there. So I was going to have a brief summary, and we will imagine that I insert it here, of the 7 chapters that we did, including one of them, which was a solid 90 pages.
Yeah, the battle for the Almagast, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
The second battle for the Almagest, or I do not know how to call friend one who does this.
Yeah. I agree. You shouldn't call a cousin friend. They're bad.
I thought they were talking about God.
Here's my belated summary. First, we catch back up with Mycroft as they recover from the Atlantis strike and incidentally reenact a large portion of the Odyssey, before reuniting with 9A and Romanova just in time for Ganymede to conquer the city. Also, just in time to watch Ganymede get bombed. Then, we have another chapter of dubious authenticity, the technically complex Diary of a U-Beast. Despondent, our protagonists abandon Romanova and contact Papa with the Faust Pact, who immediately asks why the censor aided a coup, among other disconcerting questions. In their voyage by sub-Nautilus, they encounter Thersites Perry Cray and rescue Tully Marty before arriving at Alexandria and delivering Martin Guildbreaker's investigation notes to Caesar, resulting in the sentence of Damnato Memoriae finally having a target. Just in time for Utopia's presence in space to be nearly eradicated before God gives them a mecha suit beyond the understanding of mortals. Let's start earlier than that. Let's start with chapter 11. Let's start with the god who rings the earth, or Mycroft Canner's account of 95 days lost upon the sea.
Yeah, I think
Otherwise
I
known as.
I could have just lived with like 9A inserting like a postscript of some kind. It's like Mycroft just described the Odyssey. You can skip ahead, reader.
And it's even
it's
more
literally just the Odyssey. There's nothing.
No.
There's nothing else.
Specifically, it's like books 9 through whatever of the Odyssey, which are described as the wanderings of
12.
Odysseus. 9 to 12. Yeah.
The most famous chapters.
I admittedly haven't read the Odyssey. I'm familiar with it, but she even goes through, like, someone later basically lists what happened to Mycroft, but like describing what happens as the events in the Odyssey.
Yeah, like you literally meet Circe.
Yes. Like,
the ship is renamed Circe's Gift.
Yeah, there's a Cyclops.
How have you not read the Odyssey?
I just never got around to it, and I didn't have to for school. But I'm familiar with it. It's just a little general story thing. But
Gotta read the Odyssey.
There's the Island of the Lotus Eaters included. The Cattle of the Sun is one of my favorite bits.
That's so blatant.
Polyphemus.
Yeah.
Scylla and Charybdis, Sirens. Yeah.
Yep. Oh, and of course, the fever dream of the underworld visit.
That was good. Yeah, that was actually my probably favorite chapter in the entire series.
I loved it.
I'm with Ash. I could have used, like, the prison part was cool, but or interesting. Or I should say, like I always like prison arcs in anything, but like there's always interesting dynamics playing with it. It was interesting to get a like more ground level, so to speak, view of the war. But yeah, I didn't need it to be as long as it was.
The petty cruelties.
Yeah.
I thought it was too short. All these books 9 through 12. No, thank you.
I probably am of the opinion that I don't feel like it added a lot to the narrative. That is a good point. I do appreciate that it shows some of the ground level of war and the cruelties of it. I guess I could probably have withstood it being shorter, because it's not telling us anything about Mycroft, I don't think. It's not telling us much about the nobodies that he's with, and they're the only real characters here. There's the cool Mitsubishi captain that helps out, and I guess is trying to establish how distance is really screwing with the heads of everybody. But I was also just kind of getting that from the story already, with the difficulties in communication,
like, pass it on, and yep.
Yeah, and them just like having so much difficulty getting to each other.
I mean, these were important parts of Mycroft's journey.
Really? I don't think Mycroft's really changing. I think he's pretty set as a character at this point, right?
No, I'm saying it's pretty important for him as Odysseus to go through these things.
But he doesn't, like, he doesn't really change. This doesn't change him.
It changes him into a more complete Odysseus.
But like we already, I don't know, like if Terra Ignota is relying on readers, or sorry, if Terra Ignota is drawing on these stories, like everybody knows Odysseus, right?
Oh, we got one of our talkers in here has never read the Odyssey.
Yes, having not read it. Yeah.
So I would want it to be more transformative if it's just him being like Odysseus. I would want the story to be a bit more. I don't want 9A to comment, oh, this is this is this. I want it to be like, give me one more layer of removal from the story of the Odyssey, please, Dr. Palmer. Like I don't want it to be like, oh, and then they come to a sorceress who turns them into pigs, and then she paints the boat, and like that she says that she's Circe, and like sends them out with gifts and whatnot. Like I think that's just a bit too much for me, I think.
She didn't turn them into pigs. She incapacitated them with drugs, co-opted in nanocapsules with strong anti-nausea meds to counteract it. Come on.
Yeah.
Which I'd say is a pretty big step removed from the Odyssey.
It's effectively the same thing.
It's effectively the same.
That was kind of fun. That Mycroft's was basically like, yeah, I just know how to counteract this, and
Yeah, he has the moly root. No, he has like Excel Adrenaline or something, which is also
yeah,
something that he took before his crime sprees to defend himself against stun guns.
That reminds me, one of the chapter Cersei in Ulysses is the main character going to a brothel, and he's like high on absinthe, and the whole thing is really hard to follow. But the idea is that he's been, poisoned with Cersei's magic. It's really cool.
See, there we go. That's the retelling I would accept.
You haven't even finished. What chapter are you on?
You hijacked my read of Ulysses so I could do Infinite Jest instead.
Well, you need to read better.
Yeah.
Well, I think that the version of the wanderings of Odysseus that we get in this gives us key information about the state of the war, the state of military arms, the lack of communication in the wider world, the fragmentation, fun little things like friend and foe devices, submarine lines, fractions among the Mitsubishi, and personal loyalty, all sorts of fun stuff. And also, I think that the Mycroft canner that enters that section is not the Mycroft canner who gets rescued by Hallie. I think that the spark of distance having died out in his breast once is a very important thing.
It's Haley, right?
No, it's Hallie.
Like Haley's. I thought it was
Like
Haley's.
Hallie's-
Haley's Comet,
Eh.
right?
Yeah,
Okay. Just wondering if I was mispronouncing that word my entire life.
you might have been.
Maybe. I don't know. I think it's Haley's. I don't know. I'll look it
That's
up
the
later.
comet that killed all those people, right?
No, it's a comet that returns on a fairly
Every-
regular basis, but a long period. But not that long, like 60-something years.
That's something Bop. That's the one that killed people.
Yeah, this comet Hale-Bopp is different.
Hail Bop, that's it.
So I admittedly didn't really care about the different factions of the Mitsubishi. Like, I mostly cared about it.
Hard to follow.
Yeah, like I mostly cared about it insofar as like, okay, they'll tell me who's helping the character that they will tell me who's helping Mycroft and Nane's team, and who's not, and that's like the main thing that I'm like concerned about.
I don't know, I'm a huge fan of the Odyssey, so seeing a sci-fi fantasy retelling of it is exciting for me.
It's very cool that it's there. Like it's cool. I respect that Dr. Palmer put this in there, especially given how, in conversation with other narratives and stories, the whole series is. Yeah, I just think it was too long.
I have thoughts about that conversation thing when we get to chapter 17.
Okay.
Shall we move on then beyond the Odyssey?
Sure.
I don't think it's possible.
Maybe at the end of this story, we will finally get beyond the Odyssey. Who knows? Maybe.
Who's Penelope?
Maybe we'll get into this tale of Aeneas. Who knows?
Maybe.
A new Rome, eh?
Well, yeah, the Masons already probably claimed Aeneas's whatever is truth and made up some bull about Aeneas's laws or some shit like that.
So we do finally get back to Romanova, and we have the battle for Romanova, where our protagonists are hiding in the sewers and writing about events in the days before, which reminds me, not unlike a retelling of Les Mis.
Yeah, I mean, are the Mitsubishi the brave revolutionaries in the tale?
I mean, they sure got overrun in about an equal amount of time, didn't they?
That's true, yeah. Less sympathetic, though. They just come in, start doing war crimes. Oh no, we're being beaten. Yeah.
I will never forgive them for bombing the campus in a war action that they knew was going to be overdone in a few days.
Yeah, right? Like, they knew it was hopeless. I don't know. I don't know if they're
They
trying to
aimed at
accomplish.
children.
Yep.
Say what you want about Ganymede, but yeah, I mean, he was kind of a bro in that point.
But also, like, how, like,
Mariscal.
I brought this up. How did, like, I think my eyes rolled into the back of my head when I saw that he was in charge again of, like, that someone put him back in charge.
I buy it.
It's a power vacuum.
I buy it, but, like, just,
Have you not learned your lessons?
It kind of reminded me of that episode of Star Trek from, I think, season 1 or season 2 of the original series. I think it was season 1, where they go to the planet and they're caught up in between a simulation war, and Kirk and Spock get killed in their simulation war and have to be killed themselves. And it's a messed up idea, but it's also kind of better than the alternative.
I'm not following. What's the simulation doing?
So in this episode of Star Trek, right? So Kirk, I think it was Kirk and Spock, they get beamed down to a planet and they're in the middle of a simulation war. In the simulation war, whoever is deemed dead by their computer actually dies. Like civilization gets to keep going. No buildings are destroyed.
It's like no property damage.
Yeah, exactly. They just in their simulation war, they decide like what kind of casualties will happen, and then they decide who wins. And then the people on each side that were killed in the simulation just get killed in real life, and then life goes on as it is. And in this chapter of this one, they're like, well, we're losing, we're going to kill you anyway, which is a very Japanese thing to do, considering the end of the World War II.
Mm-hmm.
They knew for years that they had no chance of winning that war, and they were just trying to prolong it to get better additional surrendering. In the end, they just, of course, surrendered unconditionally anyway. But it's not realistic for people to actually surrender, even though there's no chance of winning.
Yeah.
The chance of losing has to be clear and unmistakable.
And even then, you have to have a culture that's willing to accept it.
I mean, do you really think that this is a culture of people who are willing to fight to the last breath when they couldn't work 20 hours a week?
Certainly not Ganymede.
It probably depends on the hive.
The dude was writhing around because he didn't have silk sheets.
So we're back to the Vokers being the problem of this world.
Really just the Utopians.
I thought it was very, very funny and obnoxious of Mycroft. Or was it Mycroft or was it 9A? I don't remember. Who was comparing Ganymede to Napoleon. Just like,
so boring.
It doesn't even work within the context of the analogy. Like the French Revolution happened. It happened for like 10 years, and then Napoleon came out. Like it was not a continuous thing.
They're speed running a revolution. Okay, they got to speed run, or else the harbingers will be here.
Where was the revolution? It just happened. Like the King of Spain just like vanished, and then they're like, well, I guess we'll sit around.
I almost forgot that he was story.
He's terrible. You know, he's so useless.
He's Europe's conscience. He held them back.
He's done not a thing in this story. The entire series, he's done not one thing.
That's not true.
He married Joyce.
He's married Madame.
He gave birth to Jed.
Yeah.
He led a coup of the European government.
Yeah. And then did nothing. Did nothing of the parliament. Ugh. He's the worst. He's not the worst. I mean, Kasala's the worst.
This would be the...
Hey, Kasala attacked the Utopians. That makes her awesome.
Oh boy!
Wow.
We can get to that when we get to it.
Oh, that's good. This is gonna be good.
Okay. Yeah, we're taking the Utopians are evil because they're a minority spending the majority of wealth on extraplanetary activities. Is that the stance you're taking here, in?
Sure. And I was really just trying to take a stance that'll get most people angry at me. But yeah, we'll go with that.
I was going to say he definitely wants Kip to attack him.
I think that's a really good argument, actually. Like every time they're complaining about, oh no, we can't go to Mars. Oh, I made a Faustian pact. Oh, we have to set back our date like a week. Oh, woe is me. Yeah, I find that whole thing kind of annoying.
I don't know. I did like that whole Faustian pact idea. I thought it was cool.
Yeah, I love that whole thing.
Yeah.
Utopia is the hive most arguing against property damage, specifically their property.
Yeah, which is fair. You know what? Screw all the other hives. Not all the other hives. Screw all the other hives with Gordian. You know, like have some aspirations.
But also, like it's really been hidden quite a bit in this narrative. But it does seem like there is a widespread and complete purging of A, U-beasts, and B, just animal life in general, thinking that they might be U-beasts.
Yeah. Well, and there's just like lynched utopians just everywhere.
Yeah.
I think that probably all the other hives just want to do hate crimes, you know? And the utopians are the ones that don't want to do hate crimes, which makes the utopians better, I think.
And more boring. Like if the end of this series is like the Utopians were all right and Kato was right and they really truly are just the good ones, I'm just gonna be so angry.
Yeah,
I don't think.
they're idealistic, right?
Yeah, and I'm an idealist. I love ideals. I just think their ideals are stupid.
What? What? You read sci-fi and
Okay,
you don't like the idea of going to space?
not particularly.
They are specifically written to talk to the science fiction reader in each of us.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what? Space is great.
Their jobs are called quests. Like,
And investing in space is actually very practical, and it has a lot of tangible benefits for people living, whether in space or outside of space. And I think it's actually a really good thing. But like, they're so dramatic about their Mars project. They're not even going to see it for X amount of years. What's another couple hundred years to them? It's not going to matter.
A lot. It's a lot to them. It's a couple hundred years. Does that not matter to you?
I'm not really, no.
The flame might die out.
So what this is they're building a cathedral, right? Like I think that's an analogy we could draw. Like it used to be that the Catholic Church would invest huge sums of money in cathedrals that would take decades to build, right? And people would be born and live and die just building this cathedral. So if they saw that cathedral getting destroyed in front of them, like that's pretty distressing. I think that's fair to be very upset about.
When I see about cathedrals, all I think about like are the amount of money and work that went into it that could have gone to something so much more better. They could have had a place to worship their god in a little shack, and it would have been just as good to God. God wouldn't care.
Oh man.
well, the utopian argument would be that this will ultimately benefit humanity if they're able to like live on a different planet than the stars.
It's true they're trying to defeat death. Yeah.
That's all great. What I like, taking off my mask for a minute. What I do really like about Utopian is their drive. Yeah, their drive and their wish to improve science, improve technology, and health and life, and just basically human quality of life. I think that's fantastic. Their whole space thing, I don't care at all.
Boo.
You can be wrong, but that's fine.
I think it's impractical and it's fine, and it's fine that it's taking hundreds of years or however long they think it's going to take. But
is it less practical than the Olympics?
yes, quite a bit.
Interesting.
I love that they actually draw the point that the space technologies were all over the Esperanza City Olympics in little pamphlets, and people just don't care.
Because they just want to see Sniper. But
See, that's the thing. Like in real life, space technology and space engineering and space research is actually really, really beneficial to just everyone, even people on Earth, like I said. And
Yep.
that's why I support it. But going to Mars, whatever.
The same is true in this series.
Yeah.
The Utopians, they're doing like all of the scientific output.
The utopian life extension technology.
They're doing everything. They have like a broader goal they're working towards, and everyone else is just kind of like faffing about, except the Gordians who are doing like their own kind of science. But like everyone else is just faffing about. I don't know.
The Mitsubishi are making sets.
Yeah, the Mitsubishi. Yeah, they are. Which is terrible.
You are correct, Ash, and I agree with that.
Okay, great.
to Kip's point about the life extension thing, the Mars project could be maybe not completed in their lifetime, but if the life extension stuff reaches such a point, it could be completed in like their kid's lifetime or like in the next at least maybe 2 generations or so. Like they, depending on how good they get with life extension, like it's plausible that like this generation won't see it, but like
Jin Jin is like 160 something, right?
Yeah. So like if that's what they're able to do now, like then by the time they finish the Mars project, they might be at an even further point.
Okay, for what? So they could live in a bubble on a different planet?
No, they're terraforming Mars.
Yeah, they're fully terraforming it. It's gonna be a breathable surface.
They could live there now if they want to just live in a bubble.
They have the Odyssey base. They have people living in a bubble on the planet now, but the goal is that in 250 years, it will be a new Earth.
It's just like the drive of wanting to build a better life for your children and your children's children, right?
You know, minus the gravity problems.
Like a society grows rich when...
Yeah, I love that. I think that's part of why I live.
The old plant trees that they know they'll never have the shade of, whatever.
I don't see the appeal of doing that on Mars.
That's why you're not utopian.
Nor do I think that in a world with a population as large as that, would we need another planet? I mean, we're kind of already hitting.
Mm,
I don't want to say a plateau, but I think we're going to plateau at some point.
and the Terra Ignota world clearly has plateaued.
Yeah.
They keep their 10 billion fairly stable.
Well, yeah, and besides, they're doing a culling now, anyways.
Well, they keep their 10 billion minus the reservations.
Which have, who knows?
Okay, I want more of the reservations. Like, we haven't seen much of it. We get like a little bit of it at the end of this section, but I
We
want
get
to see.
Unger.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
and they do cool.
We
They
finally
help.
get a list,
Yeah.
including Texas and Utah.
Well, you know what? Utah's got to be the
I wonder what
Mormons.
Utah is.
It's the Mormons
I
for
wonder.
sure. And then like Texas is, I don't know,
Lone Star.
Cowboys. Yeah, Cowboys. Like, but I want more of the reservations because I'm just curious to see how do the remnants of like quote unquote like our world interact with how does that look compared to like, or how does that function with the current state of the world? And to see that interaction would be fun.
So I think from everything I've read in the series so far, it doesn't work, but nobody talks about it. So it's fine. It's just a bad idea, but it's illegal to say otherwise.
It's my headcanon that all of the conspiracy theorists became the Masons.
all of them,
Like
eh?
they'll just all of them, every single one. And then they join the Masons, and the Masons like, oh, I like that. Let's take that in as one of our secrets and pretend like it was always part of the plan.
Washington has always been our capital.
I think there's a lot of conspiracy theorists because there are a lot of actual conspiracies in the world.
In this world, especially.
in this world.
Do you like Mycroft's conspiracy theory while he's being towed by Hallie or Haley, however we want to say it, that the U-Beasts are possibly Utopia's idea to survive us and build a better world once humanity kills itself?
I buy it.
No, I think U-Beasts are just like cool pets.
That
I mean,
too.
who wouldn't want one?
Well, I think you, right? You don't like the Utopians.
No, I like the Utopians.
Ah, okay.
I think they definitely make for some of the cooler mobility aids that we see in the series. Would you rather have a wheelchair or a giant purple bear that cuddles you in its belly as it walks around?
I would like that one. Yeah.
I'll take the bear.
Or a dragon or whatever.
Now, to make my position clear, I like the Utopians a lot. I just think their goal is kind of stupid.
Uh-huh.
And I can't get behind it.
Okay.
Fair.
Shall we move along? Let's go to chapter Faust Pact, where we finally talk to the Commissioner General.
Papa.
We finally talk to Papa, and we realize that maybe the censor did do a coup.
Yeah. The censor doesn't have that authority. What are you talking about?
Maybe the government of Romanova that our narrator has been trying to keep alive this whole time has been completely illegitimate from the start.
You mean you've just been keeping my deputies in captivity for months with literally no justification besides
for visiting a legal brothel?
A legal brothel, yeah.
But to be fair, they were correct in that they were working for Madame, but like, so because like also
I forgot that Madame's on their side.
Yeah.
Okay. First of all, they're right. Second of all, they're in war. All's fair in love and war. Third, Papa's corrupt, so are his detectives, and I think it's a perfectly fine reason to lock up somebody for going to Madame's. She's awful.
If they're corrupt, they should be removed from office through legal means. Otherwise, it is a coup.
You can't do. Do they have that kind of system set up right now in the middle of a war?
The Senate's
They're
still there.
They're not in prison. They're
the Senate's just not
That's
allowed
different.
to say anything at the moment.
So functionally, no.
Well, it's just easier if the censor has all the power. It's fine, like we don't need to worry about it.
Okay, who hasn't accidentally overstepped their boundaries because they didn't really know what they could and could not do? I've done that. So it's just, sometimes you take on too much responsibility at work. Sometimes you have a coup and a four-person triumvirate.
How do we feel about Ansele resigning from their position then? And how do we feel about Soo-hyung's speech that the censor would not leave this position in unready hands?
Fantastic. You know what? I totally I actually like Soo-hyun. I think she did a good job.
Okay.
The whole triumvirate basically just the whole thing's just trying to do damage control, basically.
Yes, kind of illegal damage control,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
and
Well,
sometimes counterproductive damage control, like refusing to pass on the Mitsubishi's message.
Yeah, the one that turned out to be true.
So, like, totally true.
Like 9A, you were an idiot.
about Mycroft being like about like Jed
Rescuing
being,
JEDD Mason
like
from
Jed being an actual
Mason.
prisoner. Yeah.
Yep.
That was a twist. We'll get to that, but
Not even allowed to talk. Yeah.
What about Papa being corrupt? Was that a twist?
Yeah, I think so.
yeah. I wasn't expecting that.
It's the good kind of corruption.
The good kind. Just a little bit on the side.
Yeah.
For fun.
You could say an eighth surrender, perhaps.
It was foreshadowed. They were indeed just really obsessed with Mycroft Canner.
Yeah.
And Thisbe was like, I didn't think
just
you were...
giving a reasonable reason.
Thisbe says, I didn't expect you to actually be as insane as Mycroft Canner makes you out to be. And it is foreshadowed by the fact that he didn't really seem to care about Bridger nearly as much as he cared about the discovery of Saladin. Remember?
Yeah. The one that may or may
I
not
don't think that's
exist.
foreshadowing. That's just characterization that makes his
It's characterization, I guess.
that makes his reveal more believable.
It makes total sense to me.
When you think about it, there's no way that Madame's could continue to exist without the collusion of the Commissioner General.
Yeah. Unless Commissioner General like totally.
Jed is a walking first law violation.
But also, like, yeah, who cares? No big deal. We have a Commissioner General who's corrupt, and yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I probably would have liked it to be more of a big deal in the story because like it's brought up and then like immediately brushed aside,
Well, I mean, at this point, it's not a big deal, right?
Everything basically gets second place to the war.
All the other world
leaders
leaders
were corrupt. It was a big deal to me because I
liked
Papa. I trusted Papa.
I like Papa, and
The incorruptible Papa.
I don't know. I always thought Papa was weird.
I don't know. He was like the character that like seemed, I don't know, to call people out on their BS, but like to kind of he seemed to like
competent.
to kind of cut through the BS when like a lot of people wouldn't.
Yeah, straight shooter. Yeah, I still like Papa. I appreciate characters who are competent. Papa's competent. I appreciate characters who have principles. Papa has principles. Fantastic.
I don't understand Papa's need to have Mycroft Canner handcuffed at all times that he's around police.
I think it's fair at this point,
Oh, I believe it's very fair, but I think it's incompatible with Mycroft being a servicer.
I mean, the servicer program is like totally fallen apart at this point, right?
No, it's
Wait,
expanded.
can we go back though? Like, Papa's significantly less principled if they're willing to violate these principles. Yeah.
Papa being willing to work within the system that exists doesn't mean Papa doesn't have principles, I think.
His argument would be that working with Madame was a concession that he had to make in order to get Mycroft.
Or to do literally anything, right?
Yeah.
Papa believes in harm reduction.
Yeah.
I would say that the world police officer needs to have principles of, not breaking the law.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah.
And he understands that he can apply those principles of not breaking the law to everyone except Madame, who has bought out the rest of the world powers.
Yeah, like if the whole
And
world
himself.
government is suborned to the will of one person, like how is Papa supposed to stop it?
Well, and his 3 predecessors. It was going to be someone that Madame picked in any possible scenario.
Unless Papa wanted to lead like a world revolution.
Why can't it be me?
Yeah.
I think that's terrible justification.
I think it's a fun philosophical twist.
Yeah,
Not even
I
that
agree.
twisty.
Not even that twisty.
But I don't
No.
think it makes him principled.
You may not agree with the principles.
I just think that it reveals that he's not above the system. He's similar. He's more similar to the other characters than we thought in terms of what he is and isn't willing to like compromise.
Until the reveal, I assumed that some of his principles involved not breaking the law and maybe stamping out corruption. And to find out that he's been doing both and ignoring some of those makes him unprincipled.
But what is Papa supposed to do? I think Papa is on a principle, like do what you can, right? So if you can't do it, then you can't do it, Like why would you intentionally make the world worse to kind of stick to some inflexible ideal?
I'm with you. I agree with that. I'm saying that also makes him unprincipled because he's breaking the principles.
Maybe we have different ideas of what being principled is.
At this point, I think you might.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shall we go back into one of the more interesting chapters of this section? Just one chapter back, A Diary of a U-Beast.
Oh, yeah.
This
I like
is very
that.
cool.
That's cool.
This chapter, which starts off with a warning that they don't know the veracity or possibility of this thing that has happened, but they're still going to print it anyways.
Yep. Pass it on.
Hey, this might be propaganda, but it's already been passed on, so here, you can examine it yourself.
You're pretty emotionally affecting, I thought. You know?
It was really good. It was really, 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 really good.
Basically saying, I don't want to die, I don't want to die, I don't want to die over and over again as it's like marching to its death.
Yeah, the contrast of each of the 4 different perspectives with the computer-like log out was very effective. Actually made me feel a little sorry for Cookie.
I think that the variable weighting to each of the 4 perspectives is probably one of the most effective propaganda tools in that section, because it feels like the alliance government is not listening to each of its members. It is instead weighting certain members over others.
Yes, absolutely.
And a representative government never feels fair to people who might want something more direct.
Yep.
They don't want their voice silenced at the preference of others.
The tyranny of the majority or the minority.
Yeah. Look, there's a correct minority sometimes, and all you have to do is listen for that correctness and hear its moral value and understand it and follow that no matter what the other fractions of the world say.
Yeah, you have to kill Ganymede because he's Napoleon, despite not being militarily successful.
I would say that the Lorelei Cookie Cook is an epitome of the cousin faction.
Yeah.
And her railing against being silenced in her moral outrage is some very effective anti-utopia messaging.
Yeah, that's fair. Given the nature of set sets, right? It makes sense that the nurturists are so extreme because it's like you're essentially just killing children.
That's what the Gordians say.
So, yeah.
Killing children and selling them as slaves.
Yeah.
To be clear, the selling them as slaves happens before they're killed.
That's true.
It is a separate issue.
Yeah. If that's happening, like you can't, it's an intolerable crime, right? Intolerable. It's even in the laws.
The selling them part isn't.
That's true.
My problem with Cookie just comes with her extension of set to anything that she doesn't like.
Yes.
Yeah, like it basically becomes
Gender set sets, utopian set sets. See? And that's what Mason was always afraid of, utopian set sets. Just because they wear a visor and griffin cloth, they're all of a sudden inhuman? No.
Yeah.
And they must be deactivated?
It's the whole like first they came for the like.
Yes, it is.
And if Kasala starts using the same, similar sort of language, like the utopians must be neutralized.
Yep.
Right?
Yep. Dehumanizing language.
Mm-hmm.
From the most human of factions.
She's
up.
just so caring.
Well, that's a statement. Go ahead.
I think it shows like the kind of the negative side to a faction that is caring. Like it is coming from good intentions, but has become very twisted by some of the faction members. And the majority of the faction seems to be still doing good work with their red crystal.
I don't understand how they go from, I don't know, hating set sets and whatever, all their set stuff, to blaming Utopia and attacking Utopia.
Because Utopia is the only people who can do science.
Yeah, they're different, right?
Because the dead body looked like a dead U-beast.
Yeah.
Okay.
And because they're worried about this kind of shadowy minority cabal controlling the world from behind the scenes and corrupting the world government and controlling all the money and having their tentacles in every little section of the globe.
As we've seen previously, they changed Cato's adaptation of his book, The Horizoners, to make the scientist figure a utopian because they didn't think that the general public would believe that a scientist could be a non-utopian.
Well, Cato kind of proved that true.
Yeah.
Well,
but it's the thing, it's hard for me to marriage the idea of the cousins who are taking care of people and, kind of just being the world's mothers, right? To blaming utopians Like, the only thing that like makes sense to me is that they're highly susceptible to bad information. Like their poor job of governance and how that people just vote and they got like a suggestion box. But I find it difficult to accept that the people who are supposedly the world's mothers are fine doing what they did.
I mean, there are a lot of times when you have groups of people who are very philosophically idealistic, who seem like they would be caring for the poor and the downtrodden, who end up committing horrible atrocities in that name, right?
Yep.
I think it's just another extension of it.
Yeah, but usually when we have those examples, we at least have a timeline, like a history of like how they got from point A to point B.
Yeah, I think a lot of it's happening off screen.
But with the cousins, I don't see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, and also like the whole timeline is just generally compressed because it's like as we were talking about the like French Revolution stuff, like all the timeline of like how stuff is how
I
quickly
think we've
things are
seen the
progressing is
timeline. We've seen that the set breakups were happening even in peace. We've seen
that's
that
true.
the riots were some of the biggest flashpoints that OS was suppressing this entire time. And we've seen that they went from sets to everyone at Madame's, and then from everyone at Madame's to gender, and then from there to Utopia.
I think we don't see it from the perspective, like the cultural shift within the cousins, which I think we can infer, right? And Mycroft has been trying to prepare us for a while. But we don't see like the actual arguments people are making for and against this until the twist happens, right?
And we've also seen the whole time that at the heart of the cousins, the mother is the one who wants to put the dog down that bites them.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So that I found the most realistic. Briar just being conniving woman. But from the reader's perspective, right? Like the Diary of a U-Beast, the reader, we still don't know what that was. We don't know if it was a U-Beast, whether it was propaganda, whether it was a Brillist thing, or whether Cookie was always a U-Beast. We have so many different questions, right?
Yeah,
And we're withholding judgment because we don't have a lot of information. We might have less than they do, but it's hard for me to accept.
It was science, and the video is so clear. Everyone's seen a lynched U-Beast, and everyone knows that that's what Cookie looked like. And only Utopia does it.
That actually is a fair point.
no, that was my big thing. Has this been Cookie all along, or has Cookie all been a U-Beast, whatever thing hybrid all along, or was she replaced at some point?
Has there been a body snatch?
Yeah.
The autopsy said there were signs of recent surgery, and that's about as definitive as they could get.
Okay.
They're like, it had Cookie's DNA,
Okay.
and it had signs of recent surgery.
Okay.
And other than that, it blew up.
What do you think it was? Do you think it was actually a human U-Beast?
Me?
Yeah, you too.
I don't know. Like,
I think Cookie was a Gordian plant all along.
I think right now probably. I don't. Well, because then the whole Kato stuff kind of throws, and Achilles stuff throws a lot of this. Like, I don't really know what I think right now. Like, my gut is that they kidnapped her, and I don't know. I think.
They being?
Well, okay. Well, yeah. So this is the other part. So like the main clue we seem to get is like the name Faraday keeps coming up in this chapter. My guess with that is that Faraday, who or whatever Faraday is connected to this shadowy cabal, like the same people that like are hijack the cars, shut down communications, or like global communications. They seem to basically just want to sow chaos, or to like some degree.
I'm curious, do we know if Mycroft ever gave Bridger a copy of the Protocols of the Elders of Zion?
Wow.
What is that?
You know what? I'm going to bet no. I'm going to bet that Mycroft would not do that to Bridger. But I've been wrong about Mycroft actions before.
Because that could explain things.
I think there's a faction of utopians that are not as aware by the other utopians, or it's a Gordian thing. They could just be, false flag.
We learned that Huxley is being kept in the dark.
I think there are utopians involved, but I think that I think that this group has more than people from multiple hives. I think it's a group of people that has one of them probably is a utopian because they seem to have access to or knowledge of how some of that works. But
I don't know.
I mean, that sounds a lot like Perry Cray's Madame Rejects.
I think they might be in that group. I like that, Madame Rejects.
I still think the Utopians are involved a lot more than people think they are, or at least we're being led to by the two narrators.
I wouldn't be surprised if there's a splinter faction within Utopia that's causing a lot of
Yeah.
problems. That kind of bought into Apollo's message. I'm still like just a full-on conspiracy theorist for the Gordians being behind many of the events of the series.
They haven't done much though.
I haven't done anything so far.
They haven't done much publicly.
The Celian Hill surrenders.
Yeah,
The what? The what? What?
The Celian Hill surrenders
yeah.
Oh.
The
twice.
you win.
Their whole shadow war with over Jet is really interesting.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, right. Like, so I mean, they haven't done much in view of people.
well,
And Huxley says it's paused.
I don't know. I would at least, if the Gordians are behind stuff, I would at least want to be able to look back and see specific things that foreshadowed it a bit.
Like, we sort of got an example of that in this section.
Well, maybe you'll see something on a reread.
Yeah.
That's fine. Maybe I haven't been reading closely enough. Sorry, that's what you're saying.
I bet the Gordians are planning something really, really sinister.
We got a scene like that where, who was it? Mycroft or something is like, it takes 9A aside and is like, you know that this kind of been like a Gordian takeover of the Alliance, right? Like, this is why we can't leave Suhyun in charge or whoever it ends up being. Or Jim M. Jim?
Jim and Jin. Yeah.
Yeah. You can't leave Jim and Jin in charge. Like, she's a Gordian. Can't. Yeah.
We got to turn to Julia to protect us from that.
That's turned Julia, yeah. Horrible decision.
Speaking of people, well,
I did like how in Diary of a U-Beast, Julia was recognized as a 10 out of 10 threat.
not anymore though.
Her insight and hazard level is extreme. Must avoid at all costs.
It's like she is, but not anymore. She's got a leash. She's got a leash now.
I mean, yeah, but she's still threatening to that U-Beast. Carlisle
Yeah,
doesn't
that's
care
true.
if Julia uncovers a robot. Personally, I think that it was closer to a robot.
Also, I like that it starts reciting V's speech from V for Vendetta, or at least it's referencing
Yes.
V's speech from V for Vendetta.
Remember the
Something November, yeah.
yeah. Can't quite remember it. I like that I can't quite remember it.
There's a great moment in the book, though. Just Ganymede blowing up. You know what? Fair.
It was.
Ganymede kind of
It was
deserved
really,
it.
it was really, really visceral.
Ganymede blowing up right after being happy to see Mycroft.
It was so funny too.
Like, it was like comically happy. Basically, it's, oh, everything's getting fixed now. Ganymede's coming, saved the day. Everyone's so happy. Everybody loves Ganymede. Ganymede's going to treat everyone so fairly, even the Black Laws.
Yeah. Ganymede won the respect of Natakari and she withdrew her motion. Then Romanova can be peaceful again. Boom.
I like that the Black Laws got to do their own thing again. I hope we see them again.
We'll see.
Okay, that's ominous.
I hope that we get to see a persecution of the White Laws. That's what I'm jonesing for.
I hope we get to see a War Crimes Council of the Cousins for weaponizing space.
I think that's certainly going to be coming up in some way, shape, or form.
Important cousins are just like at the stand. Is like, I was just a good soldier following orders. Gosala's like, it was the will of my hive. I couldn't go against it.
Yeah, no, it was just a defense plan. We only needed nukes in case Utopia decided to, I don't know what.
Yeah, we would never do a preemptive strike.
It was just a defense plan. Yeah, and
Yeah.
my members, maybe they were worried about utopian hackers, and so they made our nukes have no way to be recalled once launched.
And the Utopians, they had all the Harbinger people, the people who make Harbingers. Nobody could make Harbingers but them.
Yeah, they had all of them on the moon. They took Kato Week's booth, the rogue Harbinger. I don't know why there's so much focus on Kato, but apparently they're the only one who bears mentioning.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The only one that Ada Palmer wanted to write about.
I get it. Kato's cool. I mean, Helen.
It's like the show Chernobyl. They have like a character that stands in for like all of the scientists.
All scientists, yeah.
Yeah.
That's Kato.
That is true. Except Kato has a good reason for it, because Kato is now
An actual
AI?
mad scientist.
Yeah.
an actual mad scientist. The suicide of Kato Week's booth went through. Kato is Sad Cat. How many Sad Cat
Helen.
situations do you think we have running
The
around
entire
the
world.
story?
The entire world is Sad Cats.
Yeah,
Bridger-
I think
we
everyone's
don't-
sad cats.
The problem is that Bridger had like a period of some weeks or something where he was just kind of like looking through the crystal ball at people. So it could actually just be anybody.
And running around with a cloak of invisibility
Yeah.
with flying sandals.
Like, I think all of the hive leaders are compromised by this, for example.
Like they're all replaced, or
Yeah.
not replaced, but like changed.
I think 9A has been replaced by Telemachus.
Yeah, like everybody that Bridger perceived, basically.
Can we talk about 9A for a second? Because there's a point in the story where it's Mycroft's point of view, but they're talking about things as if they are 9A.
Which
know what I'm
point?
talking
Which
about?
chapter?
It's chapter 16, right before he meets Argos and Boo, and Boo dies. And Boo's so happy to see him. He said,
In case the Odyssey reference wasn't enough.
"I'm sorry, Mitsubishi. I ignored your many warnings. Your mission honestly announced it was all to rescue Zhao Haiwang from Alexandria. I called you liars, propagandists, while all those months you and you alone saw clear enough to try to rescue him from Caesar and from becoming Caesar. It was 9A who did those things, right? It wasn't Mycroft."
No, Mycroft also did those things.
Okay. Never mind then.
I do find it
Yeah.
interesting that 9A refers to Mycroft as the architect of conquests.
That's what Odysseus does.
Yeah. He's sneaky.
Yep, which was good at.
What do you think the bow metaphor is going to be, Johnny? No, not sorry, Storm.
The boat.
So the Odyssey concludes with Odysseus performing an act to prove that he is Odysseus
that bow.
to Penelope. And Odysseus has a special bow that only Odysseus knows how to bend.
Hey, spoilers.
So all these... Yeah, well, that's going to get spoiled by the series anyways. Yeah, like all these suitors can't bend the bow to shoot properly. And then Odysseus
It's a
comes
big
in and it's kind
bow.
of like a bamf. Yeah.
But that's not the real test, though. What was the real test?
Well, this is the cool test. The real test is like some kind of lovey-dovey schlocky thing with Penelope, right?
She told him to move their bed. Their bed is immovable because it's literally built from like the trunk of the tree that the house is built around.
There we go.
And he's like, "I can't move it." She's like, "Oh, Odysseus, you definitely didn't cheat on me while you were gone."
And then they kill all the suitors, importantly.
Yeah, until God comes.
So I guess the question is,
stop.
like, who are all the suitors that are going to die? Probably Mason.
So Penelope being like...
Mason has their new fling.
Mason, they're all trying to appeal to Jed, right?
To Jed, yeah. Oh, yeah,
Penelope Jed?
yeah, okay. Yeah,
Mason's new fling is Achilles, remember?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what the bow metaphor... Because I don't... See, now that we have full, like, Iron Man suit and mechas, like, I don't know...
The bow metaphor in this book sure seems to be Apollo's bow.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
But like we already had someone like Achilles already was able to use, like, if Alexander is not the bow, then I don't know.
Alexander's not the bow. Alexander is Deus Ex Machina.
Well, yeah, and they like literally say that. Yeah,
This is the armor forged by the gods.
yes.
Oh, Ash, did you enjoy the Diogenes?
Hmm?
Did you enjoy the Diogenes? He was in the story.
Was he? I mean, he was mentioned.
No, he talked to Diogenes, and he's like,
Yeah.
"No, Diogenes, I am not a dog."
Moving.
I thought you were a big fan of him, but I guess not.
I think Diogenes is slightly overrated, but he's still very cool.
Talking about dogs, I teared up
When Boo died.
when Boo died.
I
I
didn't.
teared up.
I was like, God damn it.
I was also moved, much like Hachiko. Argos is great.
I teared up the original time I read that in grade 5 when I read some version of the Odyssey and the dog died there. I was like, you're not getting, like, I have no attachment to Boo.
Yeah, I didn't tear up. It's sad for Mycroft, but
No, a dog's eager and furious licking at reuniting with someone that it knew fondly. No, I will always tear up at dog reunions.
And then it dies.
And dog reunions followed by immediate death. Oh, no, that's too sad.
And then Mason's like, autopsy right now.
I'm with you, Cap. Dogs are better than us. If the author wanted me to like the Utopians more, she should have made them all dogs.
You don't like the long cats? You don't have the same attachment to a meme?
Hurin's very prejudiced against cats.
Yeah.
going back to Ash's question about what's the bow metaphor going to be, Mycroft is going to have to make some sort of choice that, I don't know, something that about
It had to be proving that he is who he is, right?
Yeah. Well, we haven't seen Saladin at all, who I now definitely think is probably one of his quote hallucinatory dead people was the phrase that Imjin uses.
I was so sad when other people started talking to Huxley.
Yeah, Huxley is definitely because that wasn't the back of my mind as we were reading. I was like, okay, now like we know because you did get a bit of that nudge in my head, Hurin, after the last episode, and I was like, even though I'd never fully thought he was.
Huxley talked
I
to
was so wrong.
Felix Faust back in Seven Surrenders. Come on.
Yes,
That's
back in
true.
Seven Surrenders and in
Yeah.
the Will to Battle, I think Huxley talked to other people.
Yeah, Huxley was the one telling about the Hardringers.
I was thinking specifically for 9A
Yeah.
in the first part of this book.
9A also going insane. Yeah.
I mean, 9A is going insane. That's not debatable.
Everyone is so sleep deprived. Just have a nap.
Oh,
Jeez,
the
like
sleep
you cannot
drugs?
be
Oh my
doing that much
God.
important work.
They can't sleep because they wake up in night terrors. Or 9A screams in their sleep, and
Right.
Mycroft wakes up screaming. So
During
neither
the
of them are
battles,
allowed
right.
to sleep while they're hiding in the tunnels.
Yeah, but they're not hiding anymore. Just have a nap.
Correct.
Jeez. Like there is nothing so important, so critical that you personally need to be doing that like you can't afford like a 6-hour nap or something.
But every time Mycroft goes to sleep, something terrible happens.
Yeah. Yeah.
The wing bag gets opened. He has trauma.
To be fair, terrible things happen all the time when Mycroft is awake too.
The cattle of the sun get eaten. It's
Yeah, you below decks and they decide. Oh my god, that's so funny. So stupid.
So earlier you're asking about sad catting, everybody in the world, and Ash said it's everybody in the world. So this is my idea, right? The god of this universe is Adel Palmer, right? In chapter 17, Jed Mason is talking about the small gods and like their own little creations.
Small authors,
thank you. And how their own little gods of their things. And all authors and all people really are their own little small authors. And the way that they communicate with one another as like the gods in this story are the same way that Ada Palmer is trying to talk with a reader or other authors. So the intertextuality in her book, and that's why the intertextuality is so prevalent, I suppose.
We're all in dialogue with one another.
In this world where clothing is communication, everyone's wearing external markers of their allegiances and ideals. And so all Bridger needs to do to see someone and to like refine them into a more themselves version of themselves is to look at that clothing and be like, okay, this person believes in this.
Social signaling.
And just the act of Bridger seeing those social signals thereby reinforces them when he sad cats the entire world.
Yeah, that's another thing. So Bridger is the incarnation of the god of that universe in that world, right? So he's the incarnation of Adel Palmer on the story. And I don't know if this is how it is. Kip can probably shut down my theory. But I imagine that she just kind of created this world and I've been thinking for a while. And then she introduced the character of Bridger and how that would change it. And then like that's how she infected her world with her ideas. And then starting this dialogue with past stories and the readers and whatnot.
Interesting concept.
That's just my idea.
When it comes to people I think it probably happened much more to some people than others. Like I think it definitely happened to Sniper, right? Who is literally using a sniper.
The enemy's name is Sniper.
Yeah. And probably not to characters that, I don't know. It's actually impossible to rule out any characters that Bridger wouldn't have known about, right? Because Crystal Ball and Invisibility Cloak.
Yep. Though the Crystal Ball only works on subjects that the user has already seen and is familiar with. Sure.
But also teleportation, so.
Yes.
It's amazing how much of his, like, what artifacts, we're going to call them, are influencing the war.
Yeah.
The Clairvoyance constellation still seems like a powerful thing.
Yeah.
Well, even, like, that or his satellite became very, very important as a Machina ex Deus. Deus ex Machina ex Deus.
I don't know why they didn't use the magic wand to defend Utopia.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone really knows about the magic wand enough to use it correctly because it sure seems to be underutilized. Or maybe it can only do like parlor tricks or
like the flowers or
small scale spells. Yeah.
You can make a rabbit disappear. You can make a missile disappear if you put it under a hat.
Well, I don't know if you can see a missile before it hits you.
Probably not those ones.
Not at space speeds.
I think probably the Utopians are the least affected. The Utopians, maybe the Gordians, because they're the ones that are kind of invisible to the story. Like the Utopians literally invisible, and the Gordians metaphorically invisible.
And maybe Bridger couldn't understand the sweaters, so they didn't have an effect on the Gordians.
Yeah, exactly. And like the Gordians like put so much work into just people not noticing them in the first place, and since they're masters of psychology, it works.
They keep their mind-machine interface experiments on the down low, even though that's their area of expertise.
Yeah, or, like everyone's saying in this section that we don't have that solved yet, and we're not even close. I kind of don't buy that.
Wait, that they don't what?
They don't have human computer interfaces, brain interfaces.
Yeah.
Yeah, are we starting to develop those right now?
Yep.
Very, very rudimentary ones, but yes.
I mean, it was pretty rudimentary like 10 years ago when I first saw it. I'm sure it's gotten a little better.
Yeah,
Not
there's
really.
the guy who's it's better, right? Like he's able to
Like
play
Neuralink?
Civ.
Yeah.
It can move a cursor. Yeah.
Move cursor,
That's
type
pretty
text, stuff
impressive.
like that. Yeah.
The brain is very plastic. It can learn to do things.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever played with one of those brainwave games where you can play a game by modifying the ratio of alpha and beta brainwaves in your brain?
Oh, I think I'd heard of that like 20 years ago. For me, it's a long time. I'll
But yeah,
a news story on it.
it's basically just like concentrating or not concentrating, concentrating or relaxing. That's how you play. That's how you input that parameter into the computer game.
Mm.
And some of them aren't even computer games. Some of them are actual like physical toys with a little band you roll around, and like it just modulates the power to a fan, for example, which floats a little ball.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we have, not that this is the brain directly, but we have prosthetics that respond to people's nerve signals as well, right?
Yep. That's just decoding a signal that's honestly pretty simple in the first place.
Much simpler than the brain, yes.
And then translating it into mechanical action through motors.
Mm-hmm.
Skeletal muscle signals are very easy to decode.
Relatively
Comparatively.
speaking, yeah.
Comparatively speaking. No, I mean, honestly, very easy to decode, even in comparison to like, I don't know, like an Ethernet cable's data.
Gotcha. Yeah, those protocols can get pretty arcane sometimes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They're fairly large voltage differentials, and they are fairly simple in their pattern. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like that much you can do with hands and arms and whatnot.
You want to tense a muscle? You send more signals at it. There you go.
Yeah. Should we talk about the situation that Mycroft finds Jed in? The letter Martin sent, and
Oh, yeah. I think it's so funny that Cornell Mason
Declared war on the world.
was fighting a war against, but it was a war on the Masons. That made me so happy.
On the Masons, like the most Mason of Masons.
yeah,
Oh, but she's a foreigner, and we didn't know if we could trust her. And turned out might have been right.
Nah, turns out she might have been the most trustable.
except for Martin.
Out of the whole group, but that's not saying much. They all betrayed them.
So this is Martin's bash.
Yeah.
But
Guild
like
breakers.
I
yeah.
think Xiaolu is a twink, by the way. I think if I'm reading everything right.
You would know.
But okay, this is a dumb clarifying question. This is not grandma.
No, this is not grandma.
No, this is
Okay.
not
That's
Charlemagne.
Guildbreaker's wife, Martin's wife.
Though Charlemagne is
okay.
consigned to death.
because Charlemagne's in the bash.
Or no, is consigned to infamy.
Yeah.
I mean, that was such a brain dead thing that they thought of doing. That can only be Bridger intervention, right? Like
Loyalty through treason.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
there's more to it that we don't know. Obviously, there is.
well,
but,
yes, there is. Yes.
I think you're judging too soon.
Yeah, so clearly there were shenanigans going on, and they all conveniently died before. There could be any inquiries made. Yeah.
What egg did this worm of treason hatch from?
Mm-hmm.
Is how Mason puts it.
That chapter actually gave me a little bit more respect for Cornell, though, because it seems like he was not being as stupidly rigid as he has been.
The chapter where he almost strangles someone to death is the one that gives you more respect for him.
Is that he almost uses his
because he
spell
didn't.
power.
Because he didn't. Oh, yeah, no. He tortured without meaning. I love that Masonic tradition of bodily harm as a test of one's will. Yeah, love that.
No, I hate the Masonic traditions of making up these stupid oaths and pretending you're so much better than everybody else.
That goes back to the cosplaying thing that Ash is.
I've gone back over and over and again about how much I don't like the Masons, especially their stupid emperor system. But a lot of that had to do with their stupid oaths and like they're having to go through every single rule and letter to the
Mhm.
just follow it so strictly. And so when I see Mason actually kind of bend the rules a little bit, yeah, it makes me respect him a little bit more.
I'm still waiting for Mason to do anything that's kind of unlikable for me. I'm not finding anything so far.
So kidnapping Jed is not like bad. What he's doing with Jed is how does
I
that
think
fit in?
no, I don't care.
He's basically saying you're my prisoner until you decide to be my successor. In which case, your life is you're now confined to
He's
doing
grounded
this.
his child.
Yeah, that's I think an apt way of phrasing it.
Jed is still a minor, and Cornell
True.
Mason is his father.
Hmm. I mean, yeah, like it's just like this is not any new information. This is something that makes total sense for Cornell Mason to do within
I
the character that
agree.
we know have outlined so far. So it's like, well, it's like sure. Like I don't know. I don't know if I would do this or not. Like Jed is a hard character to kind of grapple with.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, that's true.
And clearly, leaving Jed to his own devices is often a bad idea. Jed needs structure. Jed needs structure and discipline.
Yes.
Don't tell that to Mycroft or Dominic.
It was very
And Mycroft is willing to accept that.
yeah.
They need structure.
Yes.
Maybe.
Mycroft is very much of the opinion that Jed needs to be reminded what room he's in on a regular basis.
Well, oh yeah, that's true.
And who's around him and
what time he's in.
Oh my god, I rolled my eyes so hard when he was damning the guild breakers to go into historical infamy such as like Clytemnestra.
And
Oh.
Ephialtes.
But yeah, the Clytemnestra thing is telling. Yeah,
Clytemnestra was right.
I don't think Clytemnestra was right. She didn't need to kill Cassandra. That was totally unnecessary.
That was Cassandra's curse. You can't blame someone for not believing Cassandra. That's not.
But
that's not their fault, and it's not her fault. That's the gods. The gods screwed that up.
Why did Clytemnestra need to kill her, though?
You could say the same thing for Agamemnon, then.
Yeah, that's true. Everyone's just acting out their part in the play.
Yeah.
Because the gods forced them to do that.
Yeah, Ephialtes is funny too, right? I would have started rolling my eyes. It was like Benedict Arnold as well.
Oh my god!
Kind of have expected that.
No, my eye roll was just the think that they can do that and they have that much power.
I still think it's hilarious that they can say things like that and not talk about like Judas, for example.
Yeah, right.
He's
and
the
they can
big
say
one.
that unironically.
Yeah, no. Our Greek narrator is given so much more latitude and leeway in their Greek gods because no one believes in them anymore, so they don't fall afoul of the first law. What is that?
Someone on the reservations does.
What is Mycroft's religion?
Jed.
Okay, but they talk about Poseidon
No, it's
all the
providence.
time. They're literally
Mycroft's religion is providence.
Yeah.
They're a fideist.
Okay. He seems to also believe in all of the Greek gods too, yes?
He seems to believe them in a metaphorical sense.
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
in a metaphorical sense.
They're all representing something. Like Poseidon has become whatever.
That was true for the Greeks too, though.
We get a lot more of the epithets for Apollo in this section, I will say.
Yeah.
Apollo, I can't pronounce the Greek. Lord of Embarkations.
Well, to your point, maybe it doesn't matter whether or not he actually believes in them or not. In terms of because it still informs how he perceives the world, but
and how he learned more about Poseidon.
Yeah.
In a world where you're not allowed to directly proselytize, like I don't think it makes sense for people to be part of like a super concrete religion in the first place, right? I don't know how you get Catholics and Muslims and it's still existing, or Jews still existing, without them telling each other their stories in a direct kind of way, which I guess is happening on the reservations outside of the story. But
Yeah.
Hey, two people can still talk.
You're allowed to do it, A, on reservations, and B, one-on-one.
you would think that you'd be able to proselytize through the story then, because it's just the author to the reader,
Yeah. And also your sensayer can tell you about what Catholics do. Be like, oh, you want to be a Catholic? Here's what they do.
And they'll totally not bias their questions or what they're telling you according to their own personal convictions.
No, they have textbooks about it, about how to lead and deflect. Oh, we haven't talked at all about Casimir Perry Cray and Thersites.
Those are cool scene.
I like Thersites. Thersites is right.
Thersites is right? Okay, we got Hurin's stance. Is Thersites right, Ash, Storm?
No. Absolutely not.
What did they say again?
Thersites is like a bottom of the pole like soldier in the Iliad, and they were making fun of like Achilles for not killing Agamemnon instead of just pouting in their tent all the time. And I'm like, yeah, maybe that's right. Agamemnon sucks. You should probably just kill Agamemnon.
I mean, there's a point being made. That's somewhat valid, but like the whole outlook is just terrible.
Wait, what was the Thersites thing in this book again?
Thersites is probably Croucher and or Casimir Perry.
Oh yeah.
Like the naval thing.
Yeah, on the boats when they found Tully.
Yeah.
I love that scene where they found Tully and she's like, I've saved millions. Or they.
I've saved 1 million.
Huxley's lion immediately pounces on Mycroft as soon as they hear that it's Tully.
Anybody get Jonah and the Whale vibes from this section?
I mean, in the Dread Nautilus, a little bit, yeah.
Or like Pinocchio.
Literal Final Fantasy.
Yeah, I'd say more like Pinocchio.
Airship.
Yeah, because Jonah was running away from his duty. Was taken halfway through.
That's true, and then forced to go there anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't think it's a strong parallel. I think it's just I would be surprised if Palmer didn't at least think about it when writing this.
I think any story where you're inside a fish will bring up that.
Yeah. I liked that the crew capsules are like little gyroscopically stabilized wheels that spin around because a squid does not move like a normal ship.
Wasn't there like a crab there as well?
The escape crabs.
Phenomenal.
Yep.
I wonder how practical all these animals are in space.
Do they have jet propulsion, do you think?
Does the Dread Nautilus's water jet turn into ion propulsion in space?
Yeah, it's probably just a different fuel.
Hey, maybe this is very practical in Europa. Maybe it can break through that ice and sail those distant seas.
Ah, yes, like in Hyperion. No, not Hyperion. The other, Ilium, the other series.
Dan Simmons. Going back to the question with Croucher,
Oh, and we did find out that antimatter gets generated in the cars.
Oh, God.
That's awesome.
Before Ash's head explodes, regardless of whether, I don't like the whole Croucher Perry worldview, but like, I think regardless, they're definitely involved with, well, I'll call it mysterious entity. That's either the same people that have shut down the cars or shut down communication and are controlling the cars.
Well, they do seem to have the most advanced submersibles that aren't utopias.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So they've clearly been planning for longer than the Mitsubishi, longer than the Cousins, longer than the Masons.
Yeah. Casimir Perry Cray having this would make sense because Casimir Perry Cray had, through Madame, access to utopian tech. And the whole Gordian Bosch, as a result, had access to utopian tech.
You think that Madame gave Casimir Perry utopian stuff?
I think Madame is no more an author of her own actions than Perry Cray is.
Okay.
I don't think she's a self-moving actor.
Ash, do you think anyone is a self-moving actor?
That's true.
Thank you.
That's not an answer.
Our listeners need to know this.
But within this narrative, she's not moving herself. The Gordians are moving her.
Oh, interesting.
So her brother's like it was really him that's behind. Felix is really behind everything.
Felix Faust.
Yeah.
I mean, he's called Faust, right? Like,
I knew that was gonna have to come up sometime.
So is she. So technically, so is she.
yes, this is true. Yeah, she's a devil that people are making bargains with, but she's not the only devil.
But they both pretend to be younger than they actually are when
Yeah,
it suits
I
them.
need to read more of those fast. What were Faust bursts?
The
Faustbacks.
Faust bursts?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Faust bursts are bursts of communication gained by sacrificing the life of a satellite.
Or space station or whatever.
I
Or
see.
other space thing.
Like, I understood from the name that it was a communication with that took a sacrifice, but
It seems that as soon as they start using the satellite to enable communication, it's targeted and destroyed by some unknown thing.
Yeah, and they lose like 50 of them in this this series
Yeah,
of
a
chapters.
lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's that whole paragraph.
To become much less effective, the communication window is much shorter, and for a while they're just like going one after another, which felt kind of very sad to me.
Very sad.
Yeah, there's the whole paragraph.
In audiobook, that sounds real sad.
I believe that. Yeah, that was one of the more actually emotionally affecting moments of the series for me. It's just like doing anything you can to try and save your people.
Yeah.
From the
Yeah.
terrible cousins who were trying to genocide you for no reason.
Laputa Control, we are confirming evacuation order for Gates of Nineveh. Please confirm. Negative, Laputa. We have 2 tugs on Doomsday course for Mars.
That kind of military, highly technical talk always gets me in stories. Like
Same.
I want that all the time.
I thought it's really cool.
Yeah.
It's really cool. Even though I didn't understand a lot of it, it just sounds cool, or you get enough of what's going on that it conveys the urgency of the situation.
It's restrained emotion.
That chapter is very possibly my favorite.
Yeah, that's
it's a really good. It's a really cool chapter. So the whole like Martian tugs. Okay, why is it that they would ruin the surface for centuries? Because
because they'd leave a 5-kilometer wide impact crater, and all of the ejecta that's launched up into orbit would then rain down on Mars as an endless rock hail for a couple hundred years.
Oh, because of the gravity, it wouldn't all come down at once. So it would just kind of be a stream. Okay, all right.
And lack of
Could
atmosphere.
they just use like a vacuum cleaner?
Planet-wide vacuum cleaner.
An orbit-wide vacuum cleaner, because it would be like the whole Martian orbit that would be covered in rock.
Okay.
That's very difficult.
I don't know. I think you could science that out.
That's a very... I mean, first of all, it is an actual vacuum, so the vacuum cleaner wouldn't work.
Can you?
You need like nets.
Yeah.
You'd need nets tens or hundreds of thousands of kilometers wide. You'd need
this is a
space
non-trivial
elevator-sized
problem.
nets. Or you'd have to have all landings on Mars be in like armored vehicles that immediately dive down subterranean or subaerian.
You mean everyone who isn't
because it's
white
not
and
Terranian,
perfect?
yeah.
It's not Terra, it's Ares. Yeah.
Did anyone get my racist joke?
I got your racist joke here.
I did not
Thank
hear
you.
it.
didn't
No.
hear
I
it.
appreciate it. You said
Was-
sub-Aryan, and I said you mean everyone
Oh.
who's not white and perfect.
To be fair, the Aryans are not just white. They're superior German stock.
Wow. Wow. Okay.
I may or may
Okay.
not have listened to an hour of... Well, I'm listening to a series on Nazi ideology.
The Gordian ideology.
Gordian.
Faustian.
Mr. German is the superior language.
Oh, yeah.
I will not sully my mind with others.
Yeah.
If we want to talk about things that actually moved you emotionally, I want to share something from the chapter 17. And this is when Kosala was doing her thing, and everyone's like, "You're awful," and inwardly she was thinking, "I did the right thing,"
Oh,
and that's it. It was awesome.
she's the worst.
Okay, I'm just kidding. I want to read this. There's something more human as Luna City gazes up into the blackened stars and finds nothing to help her there but Earth's blue marble. Distant and so cold, all great cities grow over centuries, reader, as centers rise and streets web grow like lace. And neighborhoods take on their characters, woven of layered lives. But Luna City grew in dreams first, 2,000 years of us imagining peoples, roads, silver towers, from Lucian to Samosada's satires of the million space adventure stories in the exponential ace. We built so many versions, carved out words and pictures, yet as present now within the dome's foundation as the buried underlies of Jerusalem or Rome. Our dreams built this, yes, this dream city is as fragile as those dreams, her domes ready to pop like soap bubbles. And outside nothing, no air, no help, no neighbor, city to run refuge to, nothing but the blackest night, which childhood instinct teaches us is not our habitat. 73 harbingers, a crater charred so deep could destroy not only the city but the dream layers too. Carterizing hope to make successor generations call it folly that ever we thought to raise a city in the lifeless staring moon. That's good writing.
Yeah, it is good writing. I felt it was such a gut wrenching chapter. Like I feel so bad for the Utopians for believing that
Mhm.
that the rest of the humans could be decent enough to just leave these non-combatants.
Nope.
That line was so bad when Kate was like, "We just thought we trusted you to leave.
We
trusted
space
you."
alone."
Yeah, and oh god, yeah, it's so galling. It's so galling and it's so believable that this would happen. And yeah, the Utopians should have just done a more effective first strike against the people, I guess.
Oh,
Fully
okay.
justified. Yeah.
Send back the world to the Stone Age, and
Okay.
then they can have their war. How about that?
Yeah, like Apollo said, he was totally right. And then like the thing that I was most frustrated by is like, okay, they're saying, okay, maybe we have the Sky Mob, we have this defensive starship that can maybe magnetize these rockets, and then Kosala's like, we're justified in this. You did weaponize space first. I was like, God damn it, Kosala! Like,
And also,
It's a
like
deflection
defense.
mechanism,
Yes,
not
It is-
nukes.
yes. It is. It is literally designed to not be aggressive.
yeah,
Yeah.
So it's like you're the worst right now. You're the worst right now, Kosala.
And Kosala's like, wasn't there a Sky Maw too?
Yeah. Oh God. Like just the oscillation between like we had no choice. I was overruled in my own hive to like, oh, we were justified. You're gonna save yourselves, you sneaky utopian scum. And then yeah, like right back to like, oh, perhaps maybe another Skybar? No, you idiot. Ugh.
Here's her thing saying that she's entering the battle. No one can feel safe while Utopia could attack from space. Not after what happened to Cook in Ganymede. I will take the Almagest myself. Greenpeace, Homeland, and Dugong are all with me. Once the Utopian threat is neutralized, all sides will calm down enough to start peace talks. And if Utopia is innocent, there will be time to prove that.
Oh,
I will
God.
protect the peace-washed Utopians who stay to maintain the system. Peacemaking is the important half of war, Cornell. Surrender now and we can finally begin.
Like the self-righteousness, and it's terrible.
Which going back fits with their.
If it's with character laws and those laws that like demand the most strict obedience from their members. No, you must raise your children this way. You must do all these things in order to have a just society.
She's not even staying out of the conflict. She's totally not neutral. She's engaging the conflict the same as everybody else. She's just saying, I'm the morally right one, which is
Yep.
like at least the others are like acknowledging that the other sides have like points or like that this is a difficult problem to solve. She's just saying like, you idiots that are making war, I'm gonna nuke you first.
Yeah.
Horrible.
I'm going to put harbingers and nukes on all of these space elevators that you gave me for humanitarian launches.
She
And by
must
the
have
way,
been building them
where
for
have
months.
been those humanitarian deliveries? I haven't seen any in Romanova.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
No humanitarian deliveries, and they must have been working on these harbingers for months.
Oh yeah, literally the entire time that the war's been going.
So they would
Yeah.
have had someone that was able to make them, and so then the Utopians didn't get all of the like harbinger maker scientists.
Well, Utopia put a time scale on harbinger makers, and they were like, okay, we think that the world can remake them in 6 months, and this is about 6 months after that.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And then, like, as soon as the clock hits midnight on that, there's like the harbingers are launched.
Yep.
Yeah.
By the cousins.
So clearly the world would have used harbingers on the first day, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, 100%.
Absolutely.
Did we get confirmation on who like won the battle? Like my interpretation is that like team protagonist / Alexander took back the Almagest. But like, did we get confirmation of that?
They have not taken back the Almagest. They have just stopped all of the nukes.
The nukes. Okay.
Yeah.
And we have paused that we ended the chapter basically at that point.
Okay.
And then Mycroft is like, and immediately they start doing propaganda. It's like, oh, the Utopians have yet another super weapon.
Yep.
Oh,
They show
yeah.
pictures of Sky Maw, which lasted all of 10 seconds.
So Storm, how did you feel about Deus Ex Machina?
I don't know. Like that tracks in terms of like, I mean, it tracks in terms of like
I mean, it's a Greek story. I mean, it's supposed to happen.
It's an Iron Man suit anime mecha. Like, I mean, I don't know. Narratively though, yeah, it's fine. It's no.
I don't mean narrative. I mean theologically.
Uh,
Not even
I don't
theologically,
know.
but like your biggest criticism so far has been that you cannot bridge these ideas of having like godlike powers inside of a sci-fi.
Yeah. So my headcanon can be that the Utopians did it.
But they didn't.
They didn't do it. It was Bridger.
But the suit of armor is proof against nukes.
All right. Then it's. I still think it's kind of dumb, but.
And it can't be jammed because no one's imagined its communication systems yet.
Yeah, I still think it's dumb. Like, well, so on this note, then I did with Achilles, I did kind of roll my eyes, and I'm like, oh, well, like Bridger, like or Kato, and all that stuff. I still think it's dumb.
I like how Achilles can't remember what Helen stands for because Apollo kept changing the name in all of the drafts.
No, that's kind of that part's kind of cool.
We have Helen with an indefinite acronym, but still real.
It's a backronym, like Unix or Linux.
It's
Yeah.
very much a backronym.
Yeah, backronyms I think are more common at this point.
Apollo thought they were being cute, and they were a terrible writer.
Yeah,
Unix, I didn't know Unix was a backronym.
I think it is.
I don't know.
Or GNU. GNU is a backronym. I
Ah.
think it's like GNU is not
GNU
Unix.
is definitely a backronym. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, it's a recursive backronym.
Speaking of language, does anyone find that you speak incredibly irritating?
I like it.
Is the you speak the
It's the way the utopians speak, and it's just way more speak to each other.
The neologisms that they've made.
It's basically like, I don't know, middle schoolers thinking that they're the coolest things because they know these references that other people don't get, and so like they kind of like snigger at each other. It's like, oh, remember that episode of Futurama we saw?
It's like how they say scrying instead of reconnaissance.
oh yeah.
I like it. I'm pretty solidly in favor of you speak.
And they say counter spells instead of countermeasures.
Yeah, it's kind of fun. I did like that the whole sphere stuff and like how everything is framed as quests. So I don't know, I like it.
And you like that Huxley is of the first contact constellation. We finally learn his goal.
They're mythologizing their own society, right?
Yeah.
It's great.
Yep.
I think this is like it's getting around the first law. It's clearly like quasi-religious.
Like that wasn't clear from Apollo.
Yeah, right. Like everyone just I don't know is too dumb to notice or doesn't care or whatever.
Yeah.
Regarding the theological stuff, I would have actually been totally on board if this had actually just been divine intervention, like direct divine intervention, like Mycroft was thinking. Is like, oh, I said a prayer and God Himself has answered.
Is that not what happened?
I mean, do we have any evidence that that's not what happened?
That's literally what I interpreted it as.
Yeah.
Well,
like the Bridger.
Cato says it's a Bridger satellite, right?
Yeah, and Bridger's God. He's literally an incarnation of God. And the fact that that they realized that it happened at this point meant that it was meant to be revealed at this moment as an act of God.
But I'm saying a direct act of God. Like Bridger is indirect acts of God. Bridger does not know that he's God, and he does not act like he's God.
I don't think that we know that the Alexander existed until this very moment.
Sure. So if it is just like it was just like an actual miracle, I'd be totally fine with that.
I think it was an actual miracle.
I will accept that this is where we're at as far as the yes.
I think that Bridger is still alive in this universe. They are just non-corporeal, and they have instantiated the Alexander as a post-death redemption. Unconsciously.
Bridger was all of us all along.
What does he need a redemption? Well, I guess
he kind of he messed up the whole world with.
Yeah, that's true. I guess.
As I said earlier about my Adel Palmer being the God thing, yeah, she just decided this is the moment, and that's what happened.
It would be narratively sound.
Yeah, it tracks.
I see it as God responding to Jehovah.
Yeah, it's like I can't get behind this, right? I can't call you a friend if you do this, God. And God's like, okay, fine. I'll dial it back a little bit.
I really wanted this cool motorcycle moment in Alexandria. Here.
It is a pretty cool image of them hijacking the car to have it like using it to get Achilles to Alexander. And
are the ground cars like spider cars?
I think some of them are, yes.
I thought they hijacked like a car, like the flying car.
The
I thought that was,
Pope-mobile that carried Cookie was legged.
Yeah, it sounded like they called them like spider legs, and I think they called some of the other cars crawlers.
Didn't like Kate? Wasn't that the whole thing of like why they used all the people to like hijack one of the like flying cars to get Achilles to?
Yes, they got a
Yeah.
flying car through the cooperation of Eureka
Yeah.
and either Cat or Robin, who knows. But we
Yeah,
do know that
and-
one of them likes bikes, but the other one likes to copy everything the other one does, so.
We have immunity for those characters now. How long does it
Yeah.
extend?
That was kind of a fun like
I would
hey.
let Sniper walk in and out of here if it...
I mean, okay, this is one reason why I have a hard time going against Cornell, like
Mason,
to
yeah.
be so against Mason like you guys are, because like he's willing to make these compromises in the moment, right? Like
I'm not
this needs to
against-
happen. We're to compromise.
Look, that's one of Cornell's best compromises.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm not totally against him.
Yeah.
But the stealing of the oath when it was the guild breakers who did it, that was one of his worst acts.
I think he's just being consistent there, right? Like you stole my oath. Like you should have known better, guys.
They should have. They really should have.
Like
One wonders why they didn't.
Yeah.
He shouldn't have just blown up so much over that in the first place. It would have been fine.
I don't think the world blew up over what Cornell did. I think the
Yeah,
world blew
no,
up-
I don't.
He shouldn't have blown up like he did.
I disagree. I think it's just like a
He shouldn't have played into someone's hand as much as he did.
Oh no, someone stole words.
I mean, it's like the foundation of your government, right?
Okay, maybe
Yeah,
it
I
shouldn't
don't-
be a secret.
Maybe it shouldn't be a secret. Yeah.
I like it being a secret. I think that's
That kind
like
I think it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Look, clearly a lot of Masons in the real world love the foundations of their secret society being secret.
Yeah, it's not because it's racist or anything.
It's an attractive concept. Oh,
Yeah.
you can't criticize it because you can't know about it. It's like Scientology.
The fact that they were all waiting for Mason to tell them that they weren't all going to get killed because they saw
Yeah, I give you
the
props for So there you go, another compromise.
Another
Yeah, I told
compromise.
you, that chapter maybe. I still don't like the Masons, but Cornell really raised my estimation
I want Martin back.
because he was dialing back on his stupid decisions before, although they're still incredibly self-important and just as bullshitty as ever.
To put it one way, so do you think that Bridger at any point saw Mason? If so, Mason's behavior is probably at least partially because Bridger has a perception of Mason being inflexible and unyielding.
I think Bridger definitely saw Mason, but not till like close to the end. Yeah.
This book
Not
is
in person.
largely becoming more and more about theodicy.
Yeah, sort of.
Speaking of Greek names and gods that just somehow pop into the story, anyone think about Iris Cloud?
Uh-uh.
Oh, the goddess of magic, Cyrus.
Uh, Goddess of rainbows and messaging.
Yeah, what was the Iris Cloud about? What was it going to do?
It was supposed to put several thousand reflectors into orbit, which could be then be used for Faust bursts.
Gotcha.
Except they wouldn't be Faust bursts. Now they would just be wish grants
Yeah.
because they wouldn't actually delay any progress towards Mars.
And then the cousins blew that up.
The fifth attempt didn't go well, just like the attempts 1 through 4 didn't work either.
Was
Yeah.
it?
Because this was Iris Cloud 5 that they were trying to launch.
Yeah.
And Chagatai was like, don't hold your breath. 1 through 4 haven't worked either. 2 of them were waylaid at sea. One of them blew up on launch or something. And another one blew up most of the way up the elevator, but before it made orbit.
Hmm.
And this one failed because the Almagust was taken, I think.
The loading dock that it was being put onto the elevator was just completely shot off by the Mitsubishi gun.
You stupid Mitsubishi.
Which the Mitsubishi gun, this like new weapon that they don't understand but only have pictures of the after effects of, does seem pretty spectacular.
Is it a railgun?
No idea.
Hmm.
No idea. We just see the V of its destruction.
They've been definitely developing it for years before the war, like the Canner device.
Oh, yeah. That gets brought up, right?
It
That's
does.
one of Dugong's justifications for taking control of Mitsubishi.
Yeah, even though they all bought into it.
Yeah, so didn't they all like signed off? Is my understanding.
You know,
Yeah.
I was just thinking. So when I was going on my anti-utopian rant earlier, and how I think their whole goal is just kind of stupid, but in the pursuit of science actually has a lot of practical benefits. It's probably actually a good thing for everybody that Mars has been destroyed for centuries, because
It hasn't been.
Sorry, that it was going to be. Actually, maybe it should have been, because that would have
I mean, that's clearly someone's goal.
made them work all the harder and have to come up with new technology and new science to overcome these things, and it would have helped everybody, including themselves. I mean, they're just looking for something to do.
Sorry, guys. Mars is off for a bit. Time for Venus.
Yeah,
Wow, that would be interesting.
I mean, they're happy having a goal, so what's the problem?
The Utopian project doesn't end at Mars.
Exactly.
You want to make
Yeah.
progress towards your goal. That's
Yep. Mars is just the easiest stepping stone.
yeah.
They still have all of the knowledge that they accumulated to that point, and they could use it for different things. And then terraforming Venus would have done the exact same thing.
So if you're working on a project and then someone comes in and just like destroys it in front of you, like you're coding or whatever, and then someone like destroys your computer and it's like you don't have a backup, and they're just like, this is just going to motivate you to work harder. You should really be thanking me for this.
If your goal is just progress, then yeah.
No, if your goal is progress on Earth,
Yeah.
then destroying Mars, this thing that they're pouring so many resources into, makes sense.
So that's like an anti-Apollo thing then.
It's like an
Yeah.
Gordian thing.
Yeah.
Which also I don't.
And there's so few people on Mars. It's really a sacrificable minority. They don't matter. If you could just solve the war with such a small amount of death and only property damage, really, not life.
They're probably not even human anymore.
Yeah. Then Mars is a small price to pay.
You're morally obligated to do so, actually.
I think you are morally obligated. It's a clear trolley problem, right?
Yeah. Clear.
Also, that was another thing that like a lot of the damage. What appalled me about the attacks were all the loss of life in space and on the moon and the Mars. I didn't care nearly as much about the things.
Mm-hmm.
I think that the Utopians cared quite a bit about the things, like especially the ISSC. There was quite a bit of shock at just the idea that someone could target that in the first place.
And obviously Ash cares about the things too, but that was just something that I couldn't.
And Luna City with Bridger's relics. Though I do note that Kato had just been transferred off of Luna City before this launch happened.
Like, I also get upset at lost knowledge and whatnot, right? Like the classic example of the burning of Library of Alexandria. Like, do you think that's a tragedy, or?
I get so sad about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they killed people, of course.
Is it just because people died, or?
I mean, I think that's worse than the knowledge loss.
Interesting. I think I disagree. Yeah.
Well, you might agree with Utopia's policy of Libricide being a crime equivalent to murder.
Yeah. I mean, if it's a good book.
The majority of the world might not.
So what if you knew some of the people in the Library of Alexandria?
So, well, okay, we can get like this is a whole ethical thing, right? But like, if I had to choose between like humanity having the wheel and me having one of my loved ones, I would probably be okay sacrificing my loved one. Or like antibiotics, right? Or like cancer research or whatever else. Right?
Yeah.
What if the Library of Alexandria was populated entirely by a subspecies of human that was adapted only to live in libraries?
That would also be sad. Sub-Aryans, yeah. Yeah, they're definitely not Aryans, the Utopians.
No, because we have that old friction point between the cousins and Utopia of Terra the Moon Baby being brought up in this chapter.
Oh yeah.
And like that seems to be in the past, but it also seems to be something that the cousins still deeply feel about.
Yeah.
And that Utopia has kind of gone on with. Terra was the first and supposedly accidental birth in space and didn't live long, but the Utopians are continuing to have children that can't return to Earth, possibly.
Mm-hmm.
For the record, I do mourn the loss of knowledge. I do think knowledge is very important.
But if we only have to lose those lunar adapted Utopians, I mean, the majority of the hive is still on Earth. They could get by. They would survive, adapt, overcome.
What's one more genocide, right? Yeah. Atlanta is also totally a fair thing to sacrifice.
They're underwater people. They don't count either.
Atlantis was also like the underwater people. Yeah, and then the second...
the people that were rescuing the underwater people.
Yes, everyone who liked Utopians. Oh, you learn quickly the danger of that.
Yeah.
It's their stupid you speak. I think that's why people hate him so much.
People hate jargon.
People don't like feeling stupid, which the Utopians just make people feel stupid. So
Mhm.
And lazy.
and lazy, yeah, and jealous because they don't have cool magical animals they can ride.
Nor cool griffin cloth and visors.
Yeah.
Although someone has access to
And guilty,
making them.
because the Utopians seem to use their U-Beasts for the majority of heavy construction on the planet.
And you can just join the Utopia at any time. So every day you wake up and decide not to be Utopian, you're kind of just, I don't know, you're depriving yourself of these lovely things that they have. Yeah.
I don't know, I feel like I get kicked out.
And they have 8 senators, but they make 30% of the world's wealth mostly through patents.
Yeah.
And they ship it off-world.
Ship it off world. Yeah.
I'll tell you what, after the events of Chapter 17, I am withdrawing my membership of the Cousins. I cannot stand behind that.
Who are you joining? The Black Laws?
White laws.
At the moment, I'd probably join the Utopians.
Utopians?
I don't know, they seem to be doing the most good so far. Or trying to prevent the... Yeah, they seem to be doing the most good, yeah.
Yeah.
Or at the very least, the least bad.
I say seem. I'm still waiting for them to for Palmer to drop the ball and be like, oh, they were behind the whole thing.
Well, it's going to be, mysterious entity.
They were kind of behind the whole thing. It was Apollo's war.
Or-
I mean,
Not the shape of it, but the idea of it, still Apollo's war.
Mysterious entity definitely has some utopians in it, but I don't think it is itself all utopia.
this is not Apollo's war, and I mean, are the actions of an individual able to be put on the sins of a whole hive?
When they're the leader of the hive,
Was Apollo a leader?
they were described as
We didn't have a
Utopia's
title.
brightest star. And no,
That
their
doesn't mean anything. Like,
their Bosch was involved in so-called cultural preparations for Mars.
yeah, I'm withholding judgment.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what that means. But it seems to have meant preparing the world for a war so that Mars would still be a viable goal of mankind.
That tracks.
Yeah, it was their war. Cornell Mason knew about it. Mycroft knew about it. Mycroft tried to stop it, killed Apollo.
The stupidest plan ever.
Well, yeah, that's a whole.
To do their own thing, trying to take all of the world's sins on themselves.
I would say Mycroft trying to stop it. That's one way to put it.
Mycroft trying to be
Well,
Jesus.
Right. While technically true.
Just like Severian.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Very similar.
I think we've talked enough about this segment of the book, and we're coming up on over 2 hours. So, anybody have any last thoughts?
No, I'm excited to
I don't
see
think so.
Faust twirling his mustache later on.
Okay. Okay. I am very excited too then.
I got one thing. That moment where Helen was revealed was like the most anime moment I've ever read.
Oh, poor Kato. Poor Kato. Did you like that they got new hair as part of their transformation?
Oh, the white hair.
What was previously hair dye is now just a permanent addition to their makeup.
That's funny.
So funny. I feel very bad for Kato, but I will say I don't quite see the reason why Kato was named Kato yet. The real life Kato was definitely not anything close to a scientist or progressive in any way, and was kind of just like disagreeable the whole time.
I mean, do you think that maybe there's a flaw in the naming system of the Terra Ignota world?
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe giving your children virtuous names or names to live up to is maybe not the best plan.
Yeah, they don't end up very regal.
No.
Is it okay to change Kato like that?
No. I mean, it's brought up that Kato so-called consented because they were suicidal at the time, but that doesn't make it okay to kill someone.
Mm-hmm.
Is he killed though?
Sad catted,
Sad catting is killed, in my opinion.
I don't know. People change all the time.
I think that identity is not a concept that makes sense. So I don't know how to map this onto it. I think it's just an abstraction that doesn't quite conform to reality.
Kato seems to think they're Kato and they have Kato's memories.
People change all the time. They don't always change into Helen, who dooms the side that has her.
Yeah. They'd be playing hot potato with Kato, really. Just hey, sniper, you want your old flashlight?
Hey, Briar, you want Kato?
Yeah. Listen, you could genocide a whole lot of people with Kato on your side. He starts salivating.
They are the Harbinger adept. There's no one better in the world at killing people than Kato Weeksbooth. Here, have them.
Yeah.
This will do so well in my hospitals. Thank you.
Yes. Look, Kato improved antimatter generator shielding and came up with an idea of surgical intervention to make the foot better in children.
Yeah. And room
That was
temperature
intense.
superconductors. Well, not
Yeah.
room temperature. Warm superconductors.
Negative 75C. That's easy.
That's so easy. You know what? I would sacrifice a loved one to have a negative 75 degrees superconductor. Only if I could choose which one, though.
Made out of hydrogen sulfide? Yeah, that seems real nice.
Uh-huh.
Neither of those is a rare material.
Yeah, exactly, right? Like the danger. We almost had that. We thought we had that for a little bit. The LK something earlier this year. The Korean scientist said that they
You
had
mean
that.
the famous falsified data scandal that's going on right now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was an exciting couple days, at least.
For some people.
Yeah, you're just being cynical, huh?
Look. The biology world has been burned before by falsified
fair.
data.
Yeah, that is being burned.
Yeah. Has everybody seen the Jack Stat famous rat AI photo?
No. Oh yes.
Maybe.
I
Yeah.
have no idea what you're talking about.
This enormous testicles.
Yep.
Oh, I can see that.
It's just a clearly falsified
Now I have to see it.
scientific paper on the Jack Stat signaling pathway with just some AI created gobbledygook that got peer reviewed and published,
Oh, that's horrifying.
and then quickly retracted after
What?
someone was like, "This is BS."
There's a lot of studies that I was just like, are you sure with that? Like, this one researcher that was I heard about that was had noticed some traits in autistic people with Fragile X syndrome, and then the researcher induced autism in mice, whatever the heck that means, and then observed how they reacted like cannabis or whatever.
Oh wow, I'm looking at it now. That's incredible.
Scientific publishing is not dealing with fraudulent data nearly well enough.
Yeah. Yep.
It's
a very hard problem.
It's a hard problem, especially if you don't want to pay the reviewers.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Which is why we should have 30% of the world's GDP directed towards science, like the Utopians have.
Towards science is a really nice way to put what they're doing.
Yes. I'm inclined to be nice to them. They're being nice to the other characters. Frankly, way too nice.
Yeah, all things considered.
Seriously, they are being way too nice. They had such high hopes of humanity and no idea how much they would be targeted by the rest of the world.
Like, everybody but Mason has targeted them, right?
Yeah.
Maybe not the Europeans.
Yeah, I think the Europeans have done lynch mobs too, for sure.
Yeah, and Romanova, and maybe in Romanova or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the only reason that they haven't been attacked by Mason is because he's like, I have total control over them at this point.
Remember that the only reason that various things aren't protected by minors' rights is because the Europeans want to keep eating them.
Hell yeah. Yeah.
Because their ancestral recipes are so important to them that they can't recognize octopi as intelligent.
Yeah. So many of these ancestral recipes, by the way, being made in like the last 100 years, like of our world.
I'm glad we're not getting the Americas because the protected KFC recipe might appear, and I don't know if I could take that.
Has the KFC recipe been published? Was that the start of the church wars in America? So why Texas now has to be a reservation.
That was the Coca-Cola Pepsi war. When Utopia finally figured out the chemical makeup of each of those soft drinks, the world that started to end. Yeah,
that's fair.
On a just rant, one last thing. I thought that the Mycroft Papa and 9A debate about whether to kill Grandma and Grandpa, their like kind of Greek dialogue, was kind of funny.
Fantastic.
That's pretty
you
funny.
Take them all out right now. Mycroft's like, yes. 9A's like, no, don't do it.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that.
And Mycroft's like, no, come on. Jim and Jim's right there. You got to be better about your face. Don't use names. Titles are better.
Yeah,
Mycroft, you can kill them all right now.
Mycroft should have gone for it.
Do it.
Some of the humor in the U-Beast chapter reminded me of out of cheese errors for What was the
Discworld?
What was the computer's name in Discord? What was
Yeah.
it?
I don't remember.
Hex.
Hex. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty funny.
Out of
Yes.
cheese errors are important things for thinking beings. Come on. I definitely have them.
Yeah, you definitely have them.
That's in my error handling mechanisms.
Kip's having a problem. I don't know. Have you tried feeding him cheese yet? We'll probably solve it.
Restart universe and try again.
You can use bread as a substitute sometimes, but
Sometimes, like they're independent axes and resources. I need a steady admixture of both.
The concentration has to be right.
Okay, so this has been the Legendarium Green Team covering Perhaps the Stars, chapters 11 through 17. Just a bare 7 chapters, but we've gone on for over 2 hours.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us. Thank you for lending us your time. Thank you, Craig, for lending us this corner of his media empire, and Horizon Brave for getting us all started. Thank you to the Jingle Punks for their intro and outro music, Galactic Damages. You can reach us on Twitter, Blue Sky, Discord mostly, theoretically Reddit, and other places as well. It's been a pleasure, guys.
Yeah. Likewise.
Yeah.
See you later.
Bye.
fun.
Blue
See ya.
Sky?
Bye.